I've gone through the map of Grand Theft Auto 5 with a fine-tooth comb to find even more of the most interesting and overlooked details hiding in plain sight. Each one seemingly more interesting than the last, and all of which you've most certainly walked, driven, or flown right past. These are the most overlooked details in Grand Theft Auto 5. I want to start off looking at a few oddities I found in the various player homes in the game. Let's begin with Franklin's home in the hills, where against his back wall there are many interesting items. Franklin is a huge Mad Dog fan, and he has quite a few posters. He also has tickets from a performance at the Vinewood Bowl Theatre, a part of Mad Dog's Madhouse tour. Here's a look at a high-res Mad Dog album. He's also a fan of OG Loke, as shown by this big tour poster, as well as the gold record he has hanging on his wall. There are also records for the Corner Killers shot on the spot, and the Kilo Sack record, Slaughter. On the shelves next to the Liberty King, which is an Easter egg I covered in the last video, is an album called Dimes for Dollar by Rochelle? Mad Dog's girlfriend. His bookshelves are full of weirdly titled books. There are some small ones bunched together in the corner, with many copies of Men's Magazine of the Year 1999, as well as a few copies of Big Mama's Bigger Memories, 100% adult only. The larger books feature such titles as American History Why by H. Potter, JP and the Urban Angels, Dog Haircuts, Malcolm X, Out of the Pan, Into the Fire, Gangster Dance Moves, The Cost of Love, The Black Panthers, Swank Daddy, Zombie Takedown, Hip Hop Legends, Bullers, Bitches and Bong Water by G. Ang, Down Boy, A Dog Training Guide by B. Arxalot, MDFT, Behind the Music, 12 Angry Women, Life in the Hood, Uncircumcised, Erotica in Space by A. Robot, Image Trager, Wither Heights, Red Dead by J. Marston, Gangster Wrapping Paper, Penguin, Fast Cars, Small Dick by M.Y. Name, Buffalo Grass by L. Moa, Ghetto Booty, Shake That Ass, Vanity Unfair by Peter Hobbins, Kiss Pipe, and LS in Photos. That was a lot of books. Dotted around the house are some smaller details like these rolling papers that just say Smoke Shop. Inside they say Amnesia, Pipe and Smoke Shop. There's an extra high-res box of Crackles O'Dawn on the coffee table. Just look at those eyes. The tagline for Fat Chips is "The nation loves getting fat." Chop's bed in the house is from the Animal Ark pet store. One of these can be found in the countryside. By the couch, Franklin has a sports almanac featuring the logos of many different teams. At Michael's house, there are some small bits and pieces here and there. There are many photos on display, and some of them even have that dreadful old Michael model. Others show nice details, like Michael and Jimmy at the beach, and Michael and Amanda's wedding. There are also what I assume are grandparents, as well as a picture of a dog. On the walls, there are many paintings, and this one was painted by R. North. On the shelves, there are some books for us to look at, like Tagging the Wood, or Fashionation Nation. Fabian's book, The Sixth Sense of Yoga, is also on the shelf, and on the cover he's helping a woman do the downward dog. There's also a book from the San Andreas Gallery of Modern Art, or SAGMA. There's a big book called Nocturnum, A Bat's Eye View, which features a bat's eye view of Los Santos on the cover. City at Night also has a low-res shot of Los Santos on its cover. They also have a copy of Chains of Intimacy and its sequel, The Plug of Intimacy. After revisiting North Yankton, a postcard can be found by the stairs, featuring what seems to be a statue of what I assume is a beaver holding a log. This is different to the beaver that's found in the game, and I couldn't find it up there. In the kitchen, there's a blackboard with college prep and fat camp, presumably for Jimmy. By her desk, Tracy has a huge Fame or Shame poster, and on the desk you can find her audition ticket. She also has concert tickets from Sorry Commode and Fatal Incursion. Tracy has some photos in her room too, including one of her as a kid. This picture with all the location names caught my eye too. Jimmy's room also has some goodies. Between the old computers and peripherals on his shelves, you'll find lots of random crap, like this magic 8-ball that says "yeah right," and this strange cartoon character head. He also has quite a few video game controllers, including gamepads, joysticks, and even a light gun. Jimmy is also a fan of Mad Dog and OG Loke, though while Franklin prefers Madhouse, Jimmy seems to like Still Mad. Next to these is Legs by Rochelle, which, bonus fact, features a track with Mad Dog. This magazine called Residue, featuring a GTA 4 NPC on the cover, makes mention of Berlin Techno taking liberty, and Tony Prince, the Ace of Clubs, talks. Plus Mason at 9 Sound CD, whatever that may be. Maybe this magazine is from the Ballad of Gay Tony. Jimmy also has a lot of posters on his wall for films and bands, including Sorry Commode and Fatal Incursion. The bathroom is relatively uninteresting, but I did find CJ's toothpaste. That's something, right? Huh? Trevor's trailer has some more racy items to take a look at, but first let's look at some cereal. There are some Big Log strawberry rails and Crackles O' Dawn, not to be taken orally. On the side of the Crackles O' Dawn box, you can see the address of the Big Logs headquarters. Big Logs Corp, 136 Liberty Boulevard, Algonquin. Trevor has a flag with the logo of the Special Airborne Unit where he was a pilot. Above the toilet, Trevor keeps a pack of Lax to the Max, lubricated suppositories. This is not a pill. Insert, it's a suppository. Get flowing again. There are also some Alco patches for liver abuse. It lasts for 3 hours and it's strong. Now, I don't know how interesting this is, but I really like the skull wearing the camo cowboy hat. His washing up liquid smells like fresh cut grass. And now, and yes, I'm going to read out all of these. STD, that is straight to digital, nothing else. Cream Scene Summer Splash, Volume 5. Introducing Gale Gulps, plus loads of bonus frothage. And from the makers of Gash in the Attic, Es ist gut, ja? 90 minutes of cavity depravity from Ringo Fire Productions. Knees Please includes Cankle Craver's deleted scenes. And Rock Out With Your Cock Out, welcome to the VIP Backstage Asses. I'm With the Bang, Collector's Edition. Trevor also still has his Impotent Rage figure. Let's move over to Trevor's second temporary home. More accurately, Deborah's house. There are a lot of pictures of Deborah and her friends in here. On the fridge, there's a postcard from Liberty City. This particular photo here was taken at Legion Square. Here's how it looks in the game now. By the window, there's a board with some things pinned up, but at the bottom there's a photo of a horse in what appears to be GTA 5's countryside. Could this be one of the cut horses from the game, or is this one of Red Dead Redemption's horses? On the shelves, there are lots of film cases featuring such hit films as Film, Film 2, Film Title again, a longer film title, another film, a new film, Thai film, comedy film part 2, cartoon film, and a film about a dog. This microwave is pretty boring, but the timer says 420. By the front door, under the Live, Love, Laugh garbage on the wall is a wireless landline. This model of phone is called the Badger Reach Around. Trevor's last place of residence is the Vanilla Unicorn's Gentleman's Club. We have to keep it at least a little PG. Moving swiftly past questioning why they keep a live snake back here, we can find a lot of notes intended for the dancers. Effective immediately, do not work nude on the pole. Pole work must be done while wearing bottoms only. To all dancers, dancers wishing to be on the schedule must submit requests no later than Thursday evening, strictly no exceptions. Due to an increase in poor timekeeping, we are beginning, spelled wrong, to track attendance effective from May 1st. If an entertainer is late more than 3 times in a month, she will be given the opportunity to add an additional shift to the schedule. To all employees, you may receive a $150 reward for recommending a beautiful entertainer to work at Vanilla Unicorn. She may be hired if she passes a rigorous, spelled incorrectly, likely by a Brit, audition and interview. The entertainer must fulfill her required schedule during her trial period. Your reward will be waiting. Fulfill is spelt the American way and is thus automatically incorrect. Please don't hang out in the massage chair. All employees must pay for use of chair. In the office, there's a board with pictures of women, a Star Tour pamphlet, but there's also a large license plate that says Bush, which I'm sure is not a reference to either of the presidents. How about we move on to some more random details? Inside the 24/7 supermarkets, there are a lot of generic products on the shelves, but the ones that caught my eye were these suntan lotions. The orange veneer is 25 SPF, but the face palm lotion runs at a high 150 FPS. Total sunblock without any possible tanning. Also blocks. Caution. Kills indiscriminately. Stop leprosy. On this bigger bottle I found elsewhere, it says the same thing, but indiscriminately is spelled wrong. On this bottle, the bottom says stops leprosy. It also says, from what I can make out, bollocks lad, don't drink you twats. And then something I can't make out, and it's blue. At the counter, there are lots of magazines and newspapers. I can't go through everything, so I will only point out my favorite bits. For example, Poppy Mitchell is on the cover of this Star Stalk magazine. She can also be found in billboards around Los Santos. She appears in both Grand Theft Auto 5 and online, but also appeared in The Ballad of Gay Tony. Okay, now I can't really show much detail here on account of all of the bosoms, but the Pussycat magazine has a neat detail. Close Encounters. Candy sucks at 50. It's nice to know she's still out there in this universe doing her thing. And Bunny Rub. Smokin' Amsterdam Girls. UK special, a Brit of all right. We visit Susie's country. We welcome girls to Pole Land. There's also Lady Garden. 69 flora-filled pages. This is the Liberty Wives special edition. Bushing the envelope. And I mean, come on, amputeens? Give a warm hand for the return of amputeens. Come on, man. Casey goes out on a limb. Sally Ann legs a go-go. Plus, Stumping, the craze that's sweeping Liberty City off its feet. There are also a small variety of newspapers here, above some low-res magazines. Apparently, the LSPD are the most violent in the world, and that feels accurate. Nearby that 24/7 is JJ's Forklift Repair. When a prom goes wrong, call JJ's Forklift Repair. Or, when your lift won't shift, call JJ's Forklift Repair. 1999 4 cups. I'll bet that you've never noticed she-nails. Surprise facial. I also rather enjoyed Hymen cocktails. In Lester's garment factory, there's a picture on the wall of an earlier version of the building. Here's how it looked with a relatively lined-up comparison. In Ammunition, you can find the price of every weapon on the wall. Along with every weapon in the game, you can also see the price of the programmable AR, a weapon that was cut. In every Ammunition that has a shooting range, there's an inaccessible room behind some glass. This room is extremely detailed, and there is one unique item that I would like to show you. This is an early picture of the shooting range. In the finished game, it looks quite different, as it's been opened up in the middle. The bucket is a different color, and there is now a fire alarm above the stop sign. There's also a TV that cycles through ads. There's one for Pisswasser, the San Andreas Lotto, Mount Zona Medical Center, Uppernatten Burger, the Cunning Stunt Academy, and Logger Light. If you want to advertise here, just contact the branch manager. Also, just take a look at these high-density, deep penetration rounds. When you go to the coroners in the mission Dead Man Walking, there are some details that you probably walked right on by, including some unique posters on this board. In the next room they have lots of files, and they are labeled Dead Dudes, Clients, Coffin Fodder, and of course, Dead Chicks. The chief coroner, Andy Smith, has an office you can enter. He's the winner of Coroner of the Year 1997. His personal files are labeled Random Shit 2010 and more of the same. At the Lost Hideout in Stab City, you probably never took the time to check out the stage, which they call the Range. There's even a Range band. Subscribe now or go to hell. This board implies that the Lost hold a talent show, and there's a picture of Johnny Klebitz on the small poster above. This purple skull sitting on a speaker not only has a creepy eye, but also an eye patch. Shifting focus to Simeon's dealership for a minute, the board in his office has a lot of early photos of cars from this game. But this car, the Matador, never made it to the game. This is the only image we have of it. There's also an early picture of Simeon's dealership from the outside. The wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man out front has had a few minor changes. There used to be more tassels, and they were blue, and there was also no text on the side of the building. On the showroom floor, Simeon has some other products for sale, including these t-shirts, but also some car care products. Motion Lotion makes most of these. There's windshield grease, slippy when wet, wax on, wax off, spray lubricant, fast penetration, engine degreaser, safer rubber and plastic parts, and brake cleaner, multi-purpose parts cleaner. There's also some car shampoo and conditioner. There are some Up and Atom burger locations around Los Santos, but did you know that this one up north is very old and it's abandoned? There's an old Sprunk and Redwood cigarette sign out front, as well as a sign that says, First Burger Joint in Los Santos, established 1947. There is a Fred's store by the Oriental Theatre. Fred's Pictures is a parody of Disney. They make such movies as Bitch in the Trunk. Now here's a fun spot, the police station. I specifically want to look at the captain's office because it has a lot of detail for somewhere you're not allowed. He has medals and awards on display, as well as a newspaper article titled, Police Captain Cleans Up City, something I highly doubt. There's also an early picture of the station that's missing the flagpole out front. There are also some diplomas on the wall as well. Now, I really wanted to mention these next two details, even though they are more widely known. Both of these can be found at the Hill Valley Church graveyard. At 11 a.m. every morning of every day, a small dog will make their way from the entrance of the graveyard and walk all the way to a specific spot. This spot is a grave in the middle of the graveyard, presumably their owner. It'll stay here for quite a while. Sitting above the graveyard are 3 benches. 2 of them are old and graffitied, but the one in the middle has been kept pristine. On it, there's a plaque that reads, In memory of Chris Edwards. Chris Edwards was a senior artist and UI developer at Rockstar Games, who passed away shortly after the release of Grand Theft Auto V. The bench was updated to include this in the Xbox One, PS4, and PC versions of the game. It is completely indestructible and impervious to any kind of visible damage. In this game that I love so dear, there are so many details that I still have to show you. Details that could fill 100 episodes of this silly little series. And to see more, you're gonna have to wait until the next one. Thank you all for watching. I hope you like these little details, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep it breezy and take it sleazy.